Oh, come on, man. What are you kidding me? Live from Las Vegas. That's how we're doing it today, man. Polymac Particles checking in live from Las Vegas, Sin City, baby. I'm here. I got in yesterday. Look at Creative Tony up there. Creative Tony, are you muted, by the way? Just checking.
No, I'm not muted.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
Yeah. No, good.
Okay, good. Well, listen, like Ted, like in the Mark Wahlberg film Ted with the stuffed teddy bear and stuff, when that bear got thrown off the top of the green monster, and then I think his whole little furry body got ripped in half, they put him back together, and then Mark Wahlberg's like, yo, Ted, how you feeling? And he's like, I'm a little fucked up. That's kind of where we're coming from today. We're both a little fucked up, but we're very glad to be here. Tony's fresh off the Fish Show at Bill Graham Civic. I'm cooling my jets until tonight. I'll be over at the Sphere watching Dead and Company. Cannot wait. I've been connecting, Tony, with some people on our X account, Twitter account, who are also heading over to the Sphere tonight. So I look forward to seeing everybody out there. And I got to give a quick thank you to Marcel Pantaleone. Bro, I saw your comment. You made me laugh my ass off while the intro was going. The last thing I saw before Tony started the intro song was your comment, the Jason Kidd quote, there was confusion. Dude, I had forgotten about that quote. Thank you for bringing that up, Marcel. I really needed that right now. There was confusion. We used to play that on Murph and Mac. You remember that one, Tony? That's a great one. Jason Kidd.
I do, man.
It was like a chaotic scene at the end of a game, and they talked to Kidd after the game. Coach, what was going on the floor at the buzzer? Well, there was confusion. I don't know. It's just the delivery, the whole concept. Anyway, good morning, Dom. Good morning, Patty, Marcel, Mark Graves, Stevie B, Rising Wolf. How you doing, brother? Patty from Napa, Big Dom Peralta, all you guys. So, Tony, let's check in. First of all, I'm at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas, having a great time over here. I'm getting ready to do a trifecta. I'm going to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Clean sweep of I'm going for the sweep here, Tony, in Vegas. I'm going to sweep the Sphere over the next 3 nights. How are you feeling today, my brother? A lot of Warriors, obviously, I know. I'm just getting the pleasantries out of the way first, but we're going to go Warriors, Giants heavy today. But, Tony, how's your head? How is Fish?
Yeah, we got to give Lowe's some love and Longbridge some love. And speaking of Longbridge, I'm at Longbridge right now. I'm in the back room at Longbridge broadcasting live. I want to thank Neil and Andre and Andrew and the whole posse here for letting me come in early this morning, set up my rig. So I'm doing it live, and hopefully this is like a test for us being able to do a live show from here down the road. So thanks, Longbridge. But also, I'm a little slow today, right? Great night at Bill Graham Civic last night. The vibe was so thick and rich, just like George Costanza's Velvet, and like it's like what
I'm out, Tony. When you're talking Velvet and George Costanza, one quick thing you got to remember: you ever just rub it against the grain? You ever just throws that out there. You ever rub it against the grain? Anyway, Tony, tell me more about the Velvet. I want to hear more. Yes,
I do like Velvet, and but you were my last night.
Choice. Sorry, now we got to talk fabrics real quick with a shout out to our favorite fashion connoisseur, Dante Whitner, the hitman. Very serious about his fashion, very serious about his fabrics. Tony, if I were to offer you a silk or a velvet, which are you choosing and why?
Velvet all day because of because of the rub factor, dude. I used to have a red velvet couch that was like passed down from the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. I used to have that in my apartment.
How do you still not? Why wouldn't you have it anymore? What became of that thing?
Because the thing was so long and so massive that we were like, I can't find another place to put this thing in. But man, I had many naps, shall we say, on that velvet couch.
Let me barge right in here and hijack this whole segment from you, Tony. I got to tell a quick Creative Tony story. It just came into my head because I remember that couch. Yeah. So Creative Tony, check this out. This is a great San Francisco story about what the city was like in the late 90s because it was so cool back then. Yeah. So Creative Tony had a roommate named Ted. We called him the Tedder. I called him Sutter for unknown reasons. I just named him Sutter. But we used to so Tony and Ted, monster 49er fans, used to watch a lot of games over at their apartment on what was it, 14th? What was the
10th and Geary?
10th and Geary. Okay, so check it out. It was one of these nondescript buildings you wouldn't even look twice at. It was like a box store. They used to sell like box and supplies, stuff like that. Tony had the pad above this. This place was like a effing mansion. It was huge. I'll never forget how big that place was. Yeah. And none of us certainly were not rich at that time, but yet you could afford a big pad like that. But anyway, the punchline of the story is one time, and I think it was the Green Bay Packer 98 NFC Championship loss at Candlestick. I was at that game, and when I caught up with Tony after the game, I'm like, dude, how'd it go over at your place? And he goes, not good. We were sitting on the velvet couch, and at the end of the game, Creative Tony, I wish I could have seen this, but Creative Tony and Ted destroyed their coffee table and threw it in the fireplace. Yeah. What am I? out of anger and frustration with the 49er loss. Now, that's some serious fandom, bro. Yeah. Destroying your own coffee table and then burning it.
I want to say there was a play that involved Gary Plummer where he picked up a fumble, but they didn't call it a fumble.
Yeah.
Right.
They called off 2 touchdowns that game. There was a J.J. Stokes catch at the end of the first half.
Yep.
They said he was out of bounds. The highlight showed his feet were in bounds. They disallowed that touchdown. And then, yes, the Plummer fumble recovery touchdown, they waved that off too. That's 14 big points. Could have changed the whole game.
It was that play where Ted and I both pounded the coffee table, like slammed it in different angles, different portions of the table almost simultaneously. And the table just kind of went like that. And And so we were like, okay, well, we might as well just break it all up and make a fire out of this. And so we
sacrificed the table. Yeah.
We had a sacrificial burning after the Niners season ended that year. But yeah, dude, I'm crusty today, but I'm so happy to be crusty because it was an incredible vibe, incredible show last night at Bill Graham Civic. Fish is just I'm telling you, they're doing some of their best playing Trey just turned 60. And they're just doing some of their best playing now in this stage of their careers. And, I don't know, dude. I just remember when my dad and I saw Dead & Company, my dad said to me, he goes, God, the energy in here, it's like what the world should be like.
Amen. Amen, brother.
And I go, Dad, you just nailed it. And I said, that's half the reason I go to these shows. And last night was in full effect. That vibe was in full effect. Hugs, ahoy. Dom Peralta and Neil Donardi from Longbridge were in the house. Rising Wolf was in the house. I heard 415 West was in the house. So it was a good vibes. You know what I forgot to do? I wanted to start throwing PMP Army stickers all over the urinals, and I forgot to do it, dude.
Well, I can take care of that at the Sphere. I can do some graffiti work out here at the Sphere. Now, Creative Tony, we'll go back to the Fish show a little later. We'll do a preview of tonight's Stead at the Sphere show later. But first, I want to talk about Carlos and Flex Funding, and then I want to talk about this Warrior game, the atrocities of last night. You were talking about breaking your coffee table after some bad calls in that Packer game in 1998. Dude, the calls last night, I mean, now we're losing star players. I mean, before I'm going to try to take a deep breath. Let me talk about Flex Funding, and then we'll dive right into the the atrocities of last night, because it was really brutal. By the way, how am I doing with my handheld mic today, Tony? I'm just holding my mic. Yeah,
that's it. Great. Tolbert holds his own mic every show, so maybe it's a new thing for you, buddy. I don't know.
What's funny is I was actually watching. I was walking through the casino because I got into Vegas last night, and we had a big dinner, and then we were walking. Because when you're walking through these casinos, dude, don't make any plans for like the next half hour. You got to walk like 10 miles to get to the elevator. So I was walking, but I was watching Tolbert's post game on my phone. I was trying to pick up information from Tom. So yeah, Tom's out there doing his thing, and his reports post-game from Houston have been killer. But in the meantime, I want to talk about Carlos De La Fuente over at Flex Funding. Listen, 925-250-4894, Carlos at myflexnow.com. If you are looking to buy, he's going to help get you prepared for all the variables that might pop up and all the different kinds of loans that might be best for you. He's talking private money loans. He's talking HELOC loans. That's one of his specialties, actually, home equity lines of credit. And one of the things I like to reinforce with Carlos is that it is a nerve-wracking experience. I totally get that when you're dealing with money, or you're trying to move money around, or you're dealing with a loan and interest rates and all that. It's like, gosh, I hope these guys are honest, straight shooters. I hope they're not going to bury me with these hidden fees at the back end. That's the thing with Carlos. He's not going to pull any of that hijinks. He's all about you getting into a better financial place in your life, for you, your family, your business, what have you. And listen, Carlos he's got a lot of integrity, man. He's an honest guy. And that's one of his best attributes is he's not going to steer you down a road that's going to be harmful, in 6 months or a year. It's going to blow up in your face. He's not going to do that. In fact, what I think is really cool about Carlos, Tony, is he will tell you flat out if the timing is not right or best for you and your interests. So you're going to get a real evaluation with Carlos and what might work best for you. And again, as I talked about, the integrity, the honesty, he's a San Francisco native. He's been in business for 26 years. He's also, Tony, he's helped people in the polymath particle community already. Yep. So he's one of us, man. He's one of us. And next time we have the viewing party at Longbridge, I'm sure he'll be around. You can bend his ear then, Tony. And by the way, shout out to Creative Tony, broadcasting live from Longbridge today as we speak.
That's right.
What's the strategy here? You going to mosey on up to the ball game after the show?
Exactly. I'm going to go see Roop. There it is. Take the hill. We're going to talk Giants baseball too, because another Logan Webb gem last night. We'll talk about it in a little while. But dude, the talking about the Los factor, like
Yeah.
it's all organic, dude. And I'd love to do a deep dive into the saying, the proof is in the pudding, because the proof really is in the pudding with Los, because you can talk to the people that have already worked with them from our show, and you can talk about all the different options. Like I have notes here about the fix and flips, about the debt service coverage ratio loan, which is good for investors. There's the ITIN loan, which is identification taxpayer. With its loans basically without a social security number. There's Alt A loans. It's basically take your situation to Los and talk to him about it. He said the other day on the comment line, relationships are what it's all about. And long after any transaction happens, you're still going to be in contact with Los. You're still going to build a relationship with Los. That's like my dad has worked in sales all his life. Some of his best friends are people that he built relationships with through work. And I feel like Los is the same kind of dude. So anyways, we couldn't be bigger fans of Los, and we're thinking about doing like some kind of thing with like lunches with Los or some kind of hang with Los.
We're trying to figure that out right now. In fact, you know what, Tony? It's funny you mentioned that. I don't want to like reveal my hand on the air yet, but I actually have a really good idea on that front. We'll talk off the air, and I want to talk to you about before I bring this to Carlos. But I actually have a really interesting idea for the location. There's got a really interesting idea. So anyway, we'll talk about that. But yeah, we do want to get some get-togethers happening with Carlos as well, so we could all hang out. In fact, Carlos reporting right now, he's got deal number 2 in progress. A little more of a challenging situation, but he's working on one right now with one of our great listeners. So again, Carlos is the man. Just reach out to him. No appraisal fees, no hidden fees, no escrow or title fees, and fast closings usually within 8 days with Flex Funding. And my main man, Carlos De La Fuente. Carlos D, Los D on the streets, taking care of you. Now, Tony, maybe Carlos, when he's done helping out our listeners with loans, he could provide like some MRI assistance or some medical attention to Jimmy Butler. Because I got to be honest, dude, it was kind of it was scary to watch that fall he took, and then after like the initial concern wears off, then I start getting pissed because I thought that game clear. And I told you this before the series started. I said, look, they're going to go extremely physical in this series, but Tony, there's got to be a limit. You can't be literally tackling Steph Curry around the waist and get away with it with no whistle, but that's exactly how that game was played last night.
Yeah.
And I like physical basketball too. Let's get in the paint and bang big bodies. I'm down. Believe me, let's get rough. But you can't execute a football tackle on a basketball court and expect to get away with it, but that's exactly what happened last night, Tony.
But Paulie, I would like to say before we get into the freaking very aggravating and upsetting particulars of that game, I just want to give Longbridge some love. 2347 3rd Street. They literally just rolled up the long roller gate. So now they're open for business. The first group of dudes just walked in. They're ordering some early pizza pie. They have a beer right now. 2347 3rd Street. Dude, I think these guys, they're all wearing Giants gear too. So I think they're going to the Giants game, which is what we tell people to do. Go, if you're going to the Giants game or if you're going to Chase, come to Longbridge before or after the game. And if you're not going to the game, come here and watch the game. I'm looking up at 2 screens right to my left, right here. I'm looking at 3 more screens over there. So
yeah,
it's a great freaking spot. We love these guys. I saw Neil Donardi at the show last night. We were hugging it out.
Nice.
The fact that I can go hug and jam and boogie with one of our partners on the show is ridiculous. So Los, I'm calling you out now too. I want to boogie with you too, dude. But anyway,
yeah. Boogie with Los, dude. Forget about Boogie with Stu on Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. Let's do our own one. Boogie with Los, dude. Yeah. Boogie with Los. By the way, I'm a Boogie with Stu fan. I'm a fan of the track.
No question. But Longbridge Pizza, today is Thursday, so today's the Detroit style square pies. If you want to come in and get one of those with the crispy cheese on the edges,
yeah.
We're coming back here after the Giants game. My wife and kids and another family that we're going to the game with because it's spring break for my kids. We're coming back here after the game for dinner, so we're psyched about that.
All right, Creative Tony, let's break down that Warrior game last night. You know, I guess we got to start with some broad strokes. Like I know Jimmy's.
Hold on, Paulie. Can I hug you? Because that's like the defense the Rockets like to play. They like to hug you. Like that's dude. Dylan Brooks hugging Steph Curry. Şengün, dude, a 7-footer hugging Steph Curry near half court. I don't know what. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And Kerr was beside himself, dude. And
as he should have been, You know, the thing is, though, Tony, is I don't I really don't blame the Houston Rockets because they're going to continue to do that as long as it's not getting whistled. They're not going to blow whistles. They're going to continue to mug Steph Curry. They're going to continue to undercut play. Well, let's start with the biggest play of the night, the Jimmy Butler fall, the tailbone injury. The MRI is going to be happening today. We wish Jimmy all the best.
Yeah.
Do you after watching that play as many times as we've all seen it, do you consider it to be a dirty play?
No, I don't. I mean, he was falling forward. What I didn't like is that he acted injured too. After Butler's literally we're waiting on MRI results from him later this afternoon. By the way, please, if you want to spread particles and good vibes, send good vibes to the MRI and to Jimmy Butler this afternoon, because I think they're in the air right now. I think the Warriors are in the air right now. But I don't think it was dirty because he was falling into Jimmy. It was just really unfortunate, man. But I will say, dude, from the jump, the refs had a chance to regulate and they didn't. And so that game became a freaking street brawl, dude. And I heard Van Gundy, who was doing Stan Van Gundy doing the national broadcast. He's like, man, 80s, 90s basketball. And I'm like, sure, that's good. But you're getting a guy that is getting mugged off the ball. I mean, mugged, dude. And it's just it's grotesque. And Steph doesn't pull the LeBron crap of throwing his arms in the air or flopping,
right?
Or the Jokic or the Brunson, the stuff we've been talking about with the flop.
Throw Luka in there too, dude. Luka spends way too much time flopping, complaining to refs. Sometimes Luka's complaining so much to the ref about a call he thinks he should have gotten. He's not even paying attention to the game. He's just talking to the ref while the game goes on around him. I really don't like those qualities of the players of this generation where begging for calls somehow supersedes the actual game being played. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, T. Classic, the ref sees the second act, not the first, right? And so the ref sees the arms in the air. Oh, something must happen, especially because it's Jokic or especially because it's LeBron. But I love that Steph doesn't resort to that crap. And I got to give Pine Needle some love here too, dude, because Pine Needle is a good point. That should have been a flagrant foul. Because if you are in the landing area of a player under the words of the rule, the wording of the rule, that's a flagrant foul, and they didn't give it to him. So it's unfortunate, man, and God, please Butler, be okay, because this could be a great series, and it's already just chippy as all hell, dude. This Dylan Brooks, I hate him the way I hated Michael Irvin. Or I hate him the way I hated Brett Favre. Just his whole look, his whole demeanor, his whole thing. Just
what about? Can you throw Patrick? I don't know if you might not be flying at my level, dude. I'm at the highest possible altitude of hatred for Patrick Mahomes. Are you putting him up there too, or am I alone up there? It's fine. I'll take him on alone.
He's getting there. He's climbing the ladder because
he's on the stairway to heaven. Yeah.
Dude, by the way, Rag says 88 ruled. He ruled the White House is what he ruled, Rag.
Oh, shout out. Hashtag White House. Dude, hashtag White House hijinks. If you could call it hijinks. I heard some crazy stories, man. I heard some things. As De Niro would say, I heard some things. Right. So Creative Tony, again, Van Gundy kind of singing the praises of physical basketball is one thing, but again, you can't be grabbing guys around the waist. There is such a thing as a hard foul. I'm fine with a hard foul. I believe in hard fouls. If a guy's going up, you might as well get your money's worth, dude. If you're gonna foul somebody, get your money's worth, but not when it comes to grabbing guys from behind, undercutting legs. And I think what's going on with Dylan Brooks, I think it's pretty obvious. He is going to do everything in his power to bait Draymond Green into crossing the line. And it came close last night. Draymond had to be restrained a couple of times. But Draymond's not going to back down, as we know. He's not going to back down. He represents the physicality of the Golden State Warriors, and he always has. Hey, Rags, welcome aboard, buddy. But I am concerned about the way this is being officiated. Do you anticipate any change in the officiating style once this thing comes back to San Francisco for Game 3?
No, and Curry said that Game 2 wasn't as physical as Game 1, and
that's hard to believe. Okay, but
both games were physical, but I feel like there was a vibe that the refs should have noticed out of the gates, and
I agree,
and put a halt to it and start calling stuff. And then the players know they can't play that way, right? But they were letting stuff go. And I was like, Jesus, dude, this is so freaking physical. And by the way, I'm watching this at freaking 1 a.m. at home as I'm, eating like a leftover burrito, post show, which we're going to get to in Tony's top 3. That's number 3 in top 3.
What is your burrito?
No, post-show food. We're going to talk about that post-show.
Oh, it's a great topic right there, dude. Big topic.
And Rising Wolf is the inspiration for this. So we're going to get to that later. But I want to say, I think we should go to bookmarks now because what we're talking about is in bookmarks. And
you got it, buddy. I stuffed a few in there myself. I know I put some highlights in there too. I got everything from LeBron faking calls, like doing the peekaboo act with the refs. It's atrocious.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Peekaboo, here I am. I'm King James. Here I am. Peekaboo. It's playing peekaboo on the goddamn floor. It's an embarrassment. It really is. It's an embarrassment, dude. This is why Michael Jordan doesn't want to give him the time of day. Shit like this.
Time, buddy.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy boy. Party time is over.
There's Bookman for you too, and I will start the new bed, our new bookmarks bed.
Hey, we got a super here. It's my main man, Sons of Johnny Lee. Let's.
Sorry, buddy.
Twitter, get me in the mood. Hey, Tony, Sons of Johnny Lee's on board as a super. Get him up there. You're gonna like his message.
I will. Stand by, Sons of Johnny Lee. Where are you, homie? There you are, dude. Yes. What's up, Sons? Pearl Jam tour starts today. I saw a buddy of mine, Dan, at the show last night, and he saw my Pearl Jam hat. And he goes, dude, I'm leaving to go on Pearl Jam tour tomorrow. I was like, man,
Is this weekend Jazz Fest? Is this their Jazz Fest gig? The Pearl Jam guys?
Is this Jazz Fest does start today, I think. I think it starts today and then the following weekend. So I wish I could get to see them play this new album forever. So Sons of Johnny Lee, I don't know what shows you're going to, but I hope you get to many. And thanks for the super, brother, as always. And
thank you, Sons. And by the way, Sons of Johnny Lee, give us some reports from the road. For real, send them into the email or text us during the show. I'd love to get updates. And I got to say, dude, from the Creative Tony holding it down at Bill Graham Civic at the Fish Show last night, you got myself going to 3 straight Dead & Company shows. You got Sons of Johnny Lee repping Fish out there. I saw Bonnie. I saw I saw Scarlet Fire before the show talking about Sturgill Simpson. I guess he's gigging at the Greek tonight.
He's at the Greek tonight, yeah.
Yeah, so, dude, between all of us in the PMP community, dude, we got all the gigs covered. We got representation at all the gigs.
Don't forget Patty from Napa at the Eagles at the Sphere before you stepped into the Sphere, or before you stepped into the Sphere, I should say. Patty repping the Eagles there too. So I think we've got a good music love. I think our PMP Army has a good musical ear. And
I do too.
Without sounding too cheesy, Paulie, I was talking about this last night at Set Break. It's like, the one good thing that, like, if I had to choose between sports and music is that, like, nobody lost last night. Like I saw that Warriors score and I was bumming, but I'm like, when I'm at the show, I'm like, this is a win-win. So,
well, time out. Hold your horses there. Hold your horses there, Creative Tony, because let me just tell you what. A couple of those kids roaming around the park right across the street from the Civic Center. Well, I got a big $20 balloon in each hand. Dude. Once of those kids gets pinched, cuffed, and thrown into the SFPD's paddy wagon, those guys lost. Those guys lost. They didn't win.
Yeah. Newsflash. That's not happening anymore, dude. It was balloon land. And, like, it was like, I literally, you're walking through and the cops are there and they're not doing anything. They're blowing their whistle. And it's like, dude, they're not doing anything, dude. It was like a whole subculture. It was so wacky, man.
I'm out, brother. You just said they're blowing their whistle. That's the way they're going to.
Refs. refs.
Here's what happens. Here's what's going to happen. You got refs, cops. They all melt together. Anybody with a whistle. Yeah. High school coaches, all of you.
Dude, cops were blowing their whistle. And I was like,
okay. Blowing their whistle and what? No, any.
And trying to push them away. And I'm like, dude, you could walk up there and just confiscate the tank if you wanted
to. You just walk up with a pin and start popping balloons, Boom, you're out of business. I'm shutting you down. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That would be amazing. I'd love to see.
And by the way, I just want all the kids to know, all the kids watching at home, don't try this at home with these balloons. My best advice to you is stay away from the whole balloon community. There's 100%. nothing but trouble. Hey, look who's on the board as a super. Tony, get her up there ASAP. ASA freaking P. Yeah!
Nice.
Wendy Connors, great to see you, kid. Now, this is Wendy, my the better half of my good friend Brian Connors, known on the streets as BC. Long standing ties and affiliations to the Grateful Dead and Phil Lesh. The Connors family, they go way back with the whole Grateful Dead community and family. They go way back with the ticketing office, and they are two of the greatest people on the face of the earth. Wendy, thank you, my dear. I'll see you right after the show. I hope we're going to hook up for some lunch and then right over to the Sphere to start dancing and boogieing. And Wendy, peace to you. Yeah, Wendy rules.
I'm a huge Wendy fan. So thank you, Wendy. Much love. And I look forward to the next time we're hanging out at a show. Tell BC hello as well for me too, please.
Yeah, man. So Creative Tony, to your bookmarks. I'm sorry to gum up the works. What do you got for me today?
Gum up the works. That's funny, dude.
I don't want to gum up the works. Yeah.
Here we go. I'll share the screen here because Paulie, it is.
I love my techno bed, dude. I love this freaking techno bed. Do you remember?
It's helping me.
Do you remember the first Van Halen gig we went to at the Oakland Coliseum when they first reformed and did that reunion tour?
Yeah.
It was like in 07, 08. And a couple of weird things. One, before the band hit the stage, there was like a blimp flying around inside the arena for no explanation, just a blimp flying around. And then do you remember also before VH came on stage, they were playing music like this?
Yes.
And I remember you and I we were talking about this, and we were like, I guarantee you David Lee Roth is behind this.
No question.
This is not something Eddie chose. This has got Dave's fingerprints all over it, dude. Like a dance throwdown before VH. Yeah.
That reminds me, like when I went to go see Roger Waters inside, and he had the blown up pig just flying throughout the arena. Do you remember that?
Oh, of course. Shout out Pigs on the Wing. Okay, give me some bookmarks, Steve. What do we got?
Bookmarks, dude. This is first one we have. It's just Steph. Here's Steph being Steph. Look at that. It's Steph being Steph, Paulie. Look at look at. Did you just see? Look at this.
That's the tackle. No, I see it. I know.
Look at the left arm and just let's grab his hips and just pull him.
It's a football tackle. Yeah.
Plan is clear. If Steph Curry is in your vicinity, give him an unfriendly hug. Rough him up a little bit. But
now,
the problem for them is Steph is so
this is happening literally right in front of the ref. I see the back of his head right there.
Sell out to him.
Here we go.
Hey, grab the waist. Sure. Yeah.
It's unbelievable, Paulie.
It's really, really frustrating. But again, if I'm the Houston Rockets, Tony, I'm going to continue to execute this kind of game plan because the refs aren't calling it.
Here's the next one, B.
Okay, blow it up. Let's see. That's better quality.
Yeah,
right around the waist. That ain't basketball.
No.
I mean, it's like.
I see you, kid. Keep working.
Look at Steph. He's like laughing, dude. Steph, dude. You know, he's laughing. Like that's. Imagine most players would get up and want to throw blows after that, dude. And Steph is like laughing, and he actually
look at the freeze frame you're on right there. That's again, it's like a football. They're executing football maneuvers, and if the refs aren't going to call it, Houston's going to continue to do it, and it could get worse. I mean, you get away with as much as you can until they start to enforce it. But I personally think the refs have to get control of this series because Game 3 could get really out of control, especially if Butler can't go in Game 3, and let's just say this game gets out of hand. I think it could get messy. Like it really could. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see fights. I don't want to see suspensions. I want the best players on the floor competing. But I am concerned that this thing could spin out of control if the refs don't get their hands around it early in Game 3. I think they got to set the tone early. Blow a few whistles, let these guys know. Because, dude, again, look at the photo in front of you. That's all the evidence. I mean, what else do you need?
It's outrageous. And, tip of the cap to Jalen Green. He had a good game. He had 38 points. He had played his ass off. So tip of the cap. But, dude, this is nonsense. This isn't basketball, like you said, Paulie. And they do need to get a grip on this stuff because Amen Thompson, I don't know, dude. I feel like I think he might be a dirty player, man. What I've seen of him, limited exposure to that guy, Amen Thompson. But from what I've seen, it's like, damn, dude.
Hey, man, I liked how you said, and by the way, I feel you, Anthony Merkovich, bro. I'll take an Oakley or a Mason right now. We need one badly. But again, like, I mean, you if you got to deploy the troops, you got Quentin Post. He's a big dude. We saw him put Pippen on his ass with that great screen. Let him get physical. Hey, let Looney throw a couple of elbows if that's how they want to play this game. I mean, I do worry about Draymond, though. I worry about Draymond flying off the handle because they're going to try to bait him and provoke him for all 4 quarters on Saturday. That's going to be a key part of their thing. Try to get Draymond tossed.
So, dude, this is the next part of the bookmarks. Is this post said Draymond is not backing down from the Rockets, and you can watch this. Here we go.
Okay.
Boy, let's get another one. Come on. Play.
Good, by the way. Nice. Yeah, dude. Paulie, look at Paulie right there. The contact is initiated by Thompson. Not
he's got his hands around him. He's giving him a bear hug. Yeah.
Draymond's trying to set a pick, and look at this. Look at the hug.
Yep.
Look at the hug. And Draymond's
Yep.
like, get the frick off me, dude. Like,
Yeah.
the same thing with Dylan Brooks.
Right there. Yeah.
And then this is great. This is great. Now watch. Dylan Brooks gets up, and look at that. Draymond's just running straight ahead. If I'm looking at this, and look at Dylan Brooks is like, get off me, and Draymond says, you get off me, dude.
Well, Dylan Brooks runs right into Draymond. Like you said, Draymond's trying to get back on defense, and Dylan Brooks just runs right into him. Again, he's trying to provoke. You're going to see a lot more of this in Game 3.
Yep.
All right, keep it coming with the bookmarks, T. Keep them coming.
All right, and then this is just another. This is the tweet says every single play he's being grabbed. Van Fleet. Bro.
Right around the waist. Again, always with the waist.
I mean,
look, he's got all 5 defenders around him right there. Did you see that? Watch, he takes on all 5 defenders. Look at this sequence.
And this
1,
is
2, 3. Look at this.
Yep.
There's not a blue jersey in the frame aside from Steph. That's insane.
Greatest shooter in the history of the game. Watch Steph's right arm here. Watch Steph's right arm. Right there.
Yep, I got it. They're holding his hand. Yeah, sure. Van Vliet. Off, Van Vliet.
I don't understand the swallowing of the whistle, but
it's hard to watch, man.
It's really hard to watch, and we said this before Game 1. Expect this. It's here, and we just got to deal with it, dude. I don't know. There's no other explanation. PMP Army, if you have an explanation, help us out. If you have, I don't know.
I think it defies explanation, but keep it coming, T.
Maybe I'll take like a bath with I don't know, purifying salts or something, because I need to just chill out after this. Oh, here we go. And then
here's Peekaboo. We're playing some Peekaboo. Sure.
Dude.
Look at your guy. Look at your freaking guy. Look at him.
Look at him. Watch it. Watch the sheet.
Look at this. Dude.
I like the guy doing the play-by-play. Watch this shit.
Yeah, totally.
One more time, T, from my head.
Look at him.
So he falls down, right? He supposedly took a hand to the face.
Look at him.
And then he says, "Is the ref looking? Is the ref looking? Oh, there he. Okay, the ref's looking good."
Dude,
good.
Tony? What the hell? This is why Mike Jordan doesn't want to talk to him.
Right.
Oh,
it's a joke, dude. And he gets up and he's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
He's always perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
And thank you, Sons of Johnny Lee posted this. Blake Snell shut down from throwing after he didn't feel great after playing catch yesterday.
Oh, poor baby. That's what you get. That's what you get, Blake Snell. We had a good situation right here. You would have rounded out our rotation beautifully, but no. Shout out Steve Martin and Dan Aykroyd, but no. You got to go down to L.A. Well, look where that got you. Now you're how long is he shelved for? Did they put him on the
He's on the IL. We don't know. It's uncertain, but doesn't it look like he's put on a little bit of a boiler in that photo?
A little bit. Right? Eating too many. What's the cuisine of choice down in Los Angeles? What's the specialty?
I don't know. The street tacos I've been down there are phenomenal.
I like a good street taco. Hold on, there's another LeBron one. What do we get?
This is
3 frames. Yeah.
Freeze frame. So this is really good. Nah, man, they finally caught LeBron. So they keep doing the replay of the peak, but then this freeze frame of the peak too.
Dude,
I mean, look at that.
Look at the middle shot, dude. Look at the one in the middle with him looking.
Just,
jackass.
What are we doing? Look at
cut the yes, jackass. Brown got caught. Yeah, no, he did. Hey, Noemi checking in saying that where'd you go? Tacos, just like you said, Tony. The cuisine of choice is street tacos.
Yeah,
that always worked.
You put some of Noemi's sour apple hot sauce on those tacos.
All about the sour apple hot sauce. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Here we go, Paulie. So that's good for bookmarks today. And then it basically, the LeBron thing, what I love about Steph, well, there's many things I love about Steph, is that Steph doesn't resort to that crap. I don't think, what Warrior does, can you name anybody on this Warriors team or even in this run that they've been on for these years. For these
Well,
10 years.
the craziest thing about this whole conversation is that when we had Bob Fitzgerald on a couple of weeks ago, we talked about this because it had been on the heels of another game where Steph was just getting mugged for 4 quarters. And I asked Bob, I said, Bob, do you think one of the reasons refs don't give Steph any calls is because he doesn't beg for calls, because he doesn't flop, because he doesn't draw a lot of attention to himself when he's getting roughed up? And Bob said maybe. So I don't want to encourage Steph to flop because I love the way he plays the game. He plays the game the right way. But the fact that his not flopping actually costs him calls is, I mean, I think you got to reevaluate the way games are being officiated because you shouldn't have to. I hate flopping. I hate that it's part of like superstars games like Luka, like LeBron, like all these guys that are spending half the night just falling on the floor trying to draw. You know who else does it is SGA. He's a flopper too, man.
Totally.
And he's an MVP talent. It's just it's tough to see. But I got to say, and there's Dom checking in as a super.
Oh, yeah, dude. LeBron got caught, partner. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you got caught. And Dom, great to hang with you last night, buddy. But Paulie, you're absolutely right. But what I love is that Steph is such a believer in the purity of the game, and that's not playing the game in a pure manner. And I feel like that's what is so great about Steph, right? You look at your boy Patrick Mahomes in the NFL and compare him to I don't know, Brock Purdy right now, but you go back to Joe Montana, who he's compared to, or Steve Young, who he's compared to. Those guys didn't pull that shit.
I think it's this era. I think it's just the era that we're in now because it's so crazy that, like, we've seen it in basketball in the past, but how about now you got flopping going on in the NFL?
Yeah.
That to me, like, and you got your so-called prize crown jewel greatest quarterback to ever walk the planet Earth, Patrick Mahomes. The fact that he has now incorporated flopping into his game in pro football, dude, it's very discouraging, very disheartening.
I got to give Los some love. Los said that he saw a YouTube documentary about the NBA does not like Steph's association with Under Armour instead of Nike, and that's a very interesting take, Los. Because, dude, I would not be surprised if that's true. I would not be surprised if that's true. Because, man, now you're talking about business, you're talking about dollars, you're talking about representation. I love that Steph's on.
Well, guess what? Yeah, but Steph generates millions for the NBA. I mean, Steph, again, as I've said, he's been involved in all 15 of the highest rated games, NBA games, over the past 10 years. The fans love Steph Curry. He's universally respected at the highest level by his peers, by the fans, and the fact that, listen, this could wind up costing Steph years off his career if they keep this shit up. So I would encourage the refs to really try to start protecting Steph, but I doubt that we're going to see that. Tony, other NBA action going on today. Knicks and Detroit are going to get that series going back. They're tied up 1-1. Denver at Clippers also 1-1. Knicks at Detroit, I should have said, and Denver at Clippers. That is a crazy series. Denver Clippers might be the best basketball series. Like, I know the Warrior series is going to draw a lot of attention now because of how physical it is, and fans do like watching that. But that Denver Clipper series, man, that thing is out of control. Speaking of physicality, did you see Porzingis get his head cut open last night? You see the cut on that thing? That was a big, wide cut, dude. He had the Frankenstein stitches, having a great time, too. He goes, no, I love this. I love when the fans cheer. Did you see his whole reaction? He was like having a great time with getting his head cut open last night on the floor. Blood just all over the place. All over the place.
Incredible. Hey, Paulie, I'm gonna steer the show into Tony's top 3 if you don't mind. We're gonna keep it tight today. What's up, Mark Wiseman? Good to see you. Yeah, Low Steve backing up your point too. Pro sports is all about money now. And Paulie's right, but Nike is all over the NBA. LeBron, it is a damn shame, dude. It is a damn shame. Tony, bookmarks, but I want to tell the audience we're going to keep it tight today. Yeah. I want to also prescribe the musical assignment today, Tony, before we break the huddle. So should I do that after bookmarks? No,
or after
top 3. We're going to do top 3, then we can do the musical assignment. And by the way, whenever I write that note in my notes, by the way, I always write musical ass just because I don't want to write out the full word assignment. So
it's a whole other topic. We can get into it another juncture. Greatest asses in music. I'll go first. Tony, number 1, Tone Loc. I'm just kidding, dude. I was just kidding.
No, I'll go Prince. I'll say Prince all day. Prince all day. Dude. And
crazy thing is now, Tony, if I want to applaud, I got to put the mic down. Hold on while I applaud.
Nice, dude.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I'm holding my mic today. Yeah.
Nobody loved putting their ass into the camera on stage for the Jumbotron than Prince.
Well, Prince came out with those David Lee Roth style chapless pants. Remember that? You got to put DLR up there too, just blazing cheeks, dude. Here they are. Here they are, everybody. All cleaned up for you. He had the leather chaps, 2 cheeks flying. And then you got to go probably Cher, because Cher has been known to show off her elegant posterior. And then trying to think of other great buttock bearing musicians.
Daryl, well, she's not a musician, but in Splash, Daryl Hannah walking up by the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
She's butt naked, and
well, I know, but we said musicians.
I know, I said it's not a musician. I prefaced it
because if you're going to movies, I'll just throw Jamie Lee Curtis on the pile real quick. I mean, what are we doing here? By the way, Don Peralta, where did he go? Shakira, yeah, it's a good one. You got to talk Shakira.
Good call. And then you got to do Baby Got Back and what's his name? Why am I blinking on the?
What are you talking, Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Sir Mix-a-Lot, thank you. That whole video.
Dude, I might still argue that after Chuck D, the greatest lyrics in hip-hop history are Cosmo says you're fat, but I ain't down with that. Dude, my favorite lyric of all time. Cosmo says you're fat, but I ain't down with that. All right, Tony, and let me do one more. Great posteriors in music.
Mark Wiseman just nailed it. Bocce balls. That's what the guy says in Splash when he sees Daryl Hannah come out of the water near the Statue of Liberty.
Bocce balls. Hey, Tony, one more for you. And this is like probably one we have to put in because I think a lot of her songs are actually about the gluteus maximus. Sure. Let's throw Nicki Minaj on the pile as well. Nicki Minaj.
Definitely.
She's got that song like I can't believe, dude, it's like a porno movie. Her video for that movie, song called Anaconda, dude, it's nuts. Keep the kids away from that one. Hey, a couple of supers real quick, then we'll do your top 3. Patty from that one. John Bon Jovi. Jesus H, look at this. John Bon Jovi has the best A.
Send a pic.
No, I'd rather not.
I'm saying at pollyspod@gmail.com. pollyspod@gmail.com. Send the pic, Patty. We'll get it on.
You sure?
Show.
Yeah. You sure you want to do that? All right. Hey, listen, when it comes to great rock star asses from New Jersey, I got to put Springsteen at the top of the list because he's got
the cover of Born in the USA, dude.
That's all you're getting. Boss's ass. Bam. There it is. Here, you want it? You got it. Straight out of Jersey. I got an idea for the next cover. I want it to be a tight shot of my ass. Get close. Zoom in on this. Yeah. Get both cheeks with my belt on. That's my Bruce voice. Hey, Scarlet Fire. Sun went down, and honey, you are darn straight, my dear. And the moon came up and whined. You know what, Bonnie? I might just get a Music Never Stop tonight. I will have fun, and you will be with me in spirit, Scarlet Fire. I'll be thinking of you, and I'll be sending reports. We'll post some pictures and all that kind of stuff after the show tonight.
I want you to get a Jack Straw tonight. That's what I would like for you to get tonight. I love me some Jack Straw. Oh,
I've been leaving Texas for years. 4th day of July. Dude, I'm a Jack Straw head. One of my favorite show openers of all time has always been a good Jack Straw.
Please just get the thing going with Jack Straw. Now I'm going to just go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying we can share the women. We can share the wine.
All damn day.
Tony's top 3. You're damn right. Tony's top 3. Tony's top 3.
All right. And then we're going to feed the ducks.
Feeding those ducks, baby. How we doing, by the way, on our first ever Las Vegas broadcast? How's this all working? Is this happening all right?
Mark Graves had a great suggestion for you. He wants you to bang your microphone on your head and say, "That was my skull. I'm so wasted."
You really want me to do that live on the air? What if I damage the mic?
You're not going to damage it. These are well-made mics. Oh, it's not coming up.
That was my skull. I don't know what to do. I don't want to get rough with this thing. It costs too much money.
I actually think it's got a mechanism in it that mutes it when there's any contact. So that's how good of a mic it is. So sorry, Mark.
That was my skull. Yeah.
Great idea. Tony's top 3 as we round out the final quarter of the show here, Paulie.
Thank you.
Yes. Number 1, dude. We already talked about. You never told me if you thought the play on Butler was a dirty play. So that's number 1. Do you think the play on Butler was a dirty play?
I want to say no. You know what I mean? Like I want to say it wasn't a dirty play. I'm hoping guys are not intentionally looking to hurt marquee talents or anybody else on the court. But there's a lot of talk that he was pushed into Butler. I'll say no. I'm going to give Houston the benefit of the doubt on this. There was contact. There was a mess in the paint, but it just looked so bad. So I'll go benefit of the doubt on this one. Do you think it was a dirty play, T?
No, I don't. I would love to say it was, and I'd love to go there. But as Pine Needle said earlier in the show, the wording of the rule is that it should have been a flagrant foul because you can't be in the landing area of a player, and that's what Eamon Thompson. That's where he was, and it should have been a flagrant foul. So, dude, and also 1B for Tony's top 3.
Okay.
Do you still think this goes 6, or does this loss change your mindset, and especially with the Butler factor?
It's hard to say that now, just to be totally honest, because without Jimmy Butler's, with his status being unknown as it is right now, it's really hard. I mean, I got to be totally honest. I see the Warriors having a tough time winning this series without him. And I don't know what the health of Podziemski is going to be like. And by the way, all the people on Twitter jumping up and down, where's Kuminga? Where's Kuminga? Well, you got Kuminga last night, but I don't know. I mean, did that satisfy everybody? Do you think he's the difference maker? I'm going to say no. I mean, I don't think he is a difference maker. I mean, he made a small contribution last night. But Tony, no, I'd like to wait until I hear the results of the MRI and whether or not Jimmy is going to play. Here's my gut.
Go.
And this is based on nothing more than my instincts, but knowing Jimmy Butler and how tough he is, and he is a tough SOB.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me if he misses game 3, but I would expect him to at least give it a shot to go for game 4. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Butler's out there for game 3 competing and helping the Warriors win. So if Butler is playing, I'm going to say yes. I'll stay with the Warriors in 6. I think the momentum could swing wildly, especially if the Warriors come out hot in game 3. Could change the complexion of the series, hopefully. But if Butler is a question mark and he's not going, Tony, I think Houston's probably going to win this series. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it would just be realistic here. If Butler can't go, they're not going to win the series. It's just that's the I don't know. That's the brass tacks, as they say, Paulie. And Lily Merchant points out what we're talking about. The Warriors were without Jimmy most of the season, and they were not a championship team. They didn't look like a championship team then. So,
hey, T, sorry, quick question. I want to address Los D. He's asking a very important question. He goes, what's the name of this background music? Dom, I got you covered. It's called Feeding the Ducks. True story. Feeding the Ducks. It's from the StreamYard library. We pulled it down. We just like the easygoing groove. It just seems to work. So, Tony, sorry to interrupt. You got 1A, 1B, on to number 2.
Yeah, number 2. I'm torn. I want to tip my cap to Logan Webb and what he did yesterday. Was it 6 innings of strong ball yesterday from Logan Webb? And 6 1/3, dude. He gave up 6 hits, 3 Ks. 6 Ks, 3 walks. But again, no earned runs, dude. The guy his ERA is now under 2.
It's 1.98. And you know what else is nice, Tony? He got the win last night, so he's also 3-1 on the year now. Dude, don't look now. Logan Webb might be the premier arm in the National League. I'm serious. Like he is really might be working on a special season. The way this is starting to look numerically,
dude. Jung-Hoo freaking Lee, 3 for 4 yesterday, dude. I mean, the kid is just the grandson of the win. What is it, grandfather? What is it?
Grandchild of the win, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I can't. The way he plays the game. My friend, I was with Joe last night. You know Joe, Paulie, and we were talking about him about how he plays with so much joy. Like, it's so fun to watch him play the game of baseball. He hustles his ass off. He plays great defense. He's locked in at the plate. I'm so excited that he's healthy and we get to see him play every day. So I was really excited about that win. Ryan Walker, though, dude, like,
I know he almost blew it again. I know. That's the one thing is, like, Logan Webb gets the worst luck. He is the Matt Cain of this era of Giants baseball. Right. So I hope he doesn't continue to get caned. And you're right, dude. It almost got messy yesterday. It could have gotten away. Yeah.
I don't have a question for this. I just wanted to tip my cap to the Giants and their win yesterday. We're going out there today to watch Ruth. There it is. But Paulie, the NFL draft is this afternoon, this evening.
Yes.
We haven't really talked about it. I just want to let everybody know the 49ers have the 11th pick today, unless they trade down. Then they have 1 pick in the 2nd round, 2 picks in the 3rd round, 2 picks in the 4th round, 2 picks in the 5th round, 3 picks in the 7th round. As I say that, Paulie, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your care level / interest in the draft?
Well, I'm definitely interested, but I'm not, like, make no mistake, and I think everybody who watches our show realizes this and is comfortable with this, but I am not Larry Krueger or Jumpin' Johnny Lund, like in the draft laboratory, cutting film, like, dude, rewinding film, cutting film, chalkboards, like different, like color coordinated lists. I love the draft, but here's my problem. Like, the only thing is like, I've never been a guy to make predictions, like bold predictions. I see the Niners trading up for this guy, or I see them moving this guy to get a higher pick. Like, I'm not going to even try to predict because it's all so crazy. But I will tell you this. I can tell you, like, my interest level, to answer your original question, I'm like revving it around a comfortable 8. You know what I mean? I'm up at about an 8, but my interest level is for the aftermath. My interest level is tomorrow and the days following when I see the picks, because then I can start sinking my teeth into, like, all right, how's this guy going to help the 49ers, or what's he going to bring? Yep. So here's how I would look at it, Tony. I can tell you what I'd like to see happen. Here's my interest level in the draft. What I would like to see the Niners address is I want another pass rusher. Because Bosa's not enough. I'm sorry. He's not enough. And there's not enough help on the line getting to the quarterback and like disrupting opposing quarterbacks and disrupting timing and just pressures. So, and I don't want people coming at me, oh, look at Nick Bosa. But, dude, Nick Bosa was not at the Nick Bosa standard. We know this. You go back 2 years ago and look at Bosa and then look at last year. I need more from him. So I'd like to get some more, maybe another edge rusher opposite Bosa. And I would also like to get some offensive line help. That's me.
Dude, you say you're not Larry Krueger. You just had a Krug rant for the ages.
Well, dude, no, my level of ranting is like Krueger is flying. He's like at an Albert Einstein level of ripped.
He has this type of speed on turf. He has this type of speed on natural grass.
It's funny. A lot of times in foul weather games, he excels. Yeah.
In a 3-point stance versus hands on knees, he excels.
Yeah, and then Krueger be like, this is a kid who was raised by his aunt and uncle, and he had a newspaper route. Like, he knows the whole life story. Yeah.
And by the way, this is not a riff on Krueger. We are tipping our caps because, man, thank 100%. God there are Krugers out there that do that type of research. By the way, the comment line, Anthony Merkovich, dude, he just commented flat out, the Niners will F it up. And then Los, man, the Niners better not reach again. I'm going to lose my SH, dude. That's the freaking best. So we'll see what they're going to do with this 11th pick. Paulie, I feel like they need O-line. They better spend the second half of the draft bolstering that O-line, because why pay Brock Purdy $50-60 million if we're not going to protect the guy?
Amen. Amen.
Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. So,
all right.
Yeah, my interest level is about a 6 on draft for the draft, and then after the fact, I like to see who they drafted and then start doing some homework on these kids.
Like next week, dude, we'll definitely get into the selections and we'll talk about the players and who we like, who we don't like, stuff like that. But I like to let the dust settle and see the actual picks, and then I'll get excited. Totally. Okay, Tony, wrap up your top 3, and I'll do a Carlos, and then we're going to go have some lunch. So what do you got?
Number three, Paulie. This is inspired by Rising Wolf himself, because I was with him after the show, and he was just whacking down a bacon-wrapped hot dog outside in the lot of the Bill Graham Civic.
Damn. Okay.
That is an aggressive move, dude. That is
highly aggressive. You're almost tempting fate. Right. You start fucking around with a bacon-wrapped hot dog at Bill Graham Civic. I would even go so far as to say, you know what, dude? Hey, Rising Wolf, with all due respect, I love you already. You might want to go get checked for hepatitis today. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just riffing. Anyway, go ahead, Tony. What about the bacon-wrapped hot dog? What about it?
And he was enjoying it immensely. And I was like, damn, dude. Like, this made me think, like, what is your favorite post-show grub? Because I know mine, but what's your favorite post-show grub?
It's so easy to answer. I'm kind of mildly offended you had to ask. Always 10 times out of 10, if I have it within my, if it's possible on any human level, it's going to be pizza, preferably Longbridge with the sourdough crust. I'm just being honest. Nice. And I could fortify the pizza with like a wedge of a chicken parm sandwich, like a little bit of a wedge of a chicken parm, maybe a slice, maybe 2 slices. We'll see. Wash it down maybe with some ginger ale because it's late at night. I don't want to go caffeine and keep myself up. But that's my post-show perfect meal, is going to be like something pizza related. That's just me.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
And by the way, I have to say, lot food has improved over the years, but I still go for the home run grilled cheese, man. Just give me like 3. Can I order 3 grilled cheeses right now, and I'll just stack them up all together and just take a massive bite? So I'm all about the grilled cheese post show. And I came home last night and I made myself a Whopper of a grilled cheese, and I even fried up an egg. I put some tomato in there. It's funny, man.
You put the egg on the grilled cheese?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fried or scrambled? What are we talking?
We're going fried.
Okay, it's an interesting combo. That sounds interesting. Okay.
Oh, fantastic, dude! Throw some tomato and avocado on that bad boy, and then some of like that hot sauce from Noemi. You're winning.
I remember when I was reading the Motley Crue book all those years ago, The Dirt, which is a hell of a read, by the way. If you ever haven't read it, please do so. There was this one part of the book where Nikki Sixx, my main man, Nikki Sixx, was talking about greatest hangover foods to help cure your hangover, and for whatever reason it's always stayed in my head. Nikki Sixx says his go-to is a big plate of tater tots with gravy.
Dude, Mark Graves just said tater tots, and by the way, Rags says grilled cheese with steakums, dude.
You know what, whatever happened to steakums? Rags, bring back the steakums. I was a steakum guy. Throw a couple steakums with some cheddar cheese, you fry that up, you throw it on some toast or a roll. That's a good, you know what, Rags, shout out to the steakum community. I don't know what happened. I think they shut down the whole steakum operation. Who that shit was even made of? Let's be honest. Who knows?
Right.
Steakums.
Did Steakum have the ad campaign like "Move Over Bacon"? Now there's something meatier. I feel like that was.
You could be onto something. I can't confirm that, but I'll say yes because it sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, move over, bacon. Now there's something meatier. I feel like that was a Steakum commercial.
Fist in the air for Steakums. Yeah, you throw some onions on there. You could even throw a little barbecue sauce, however you want to doctor it up. All right, Tony, let's keep this moving, kid. Yeah.
Noemi, you're right. Noemi said that was sizzling. And she's right. That was sizzling. Man, the 80s. What a time, dude.
I know. You know what else they had in the 80s? I used to drill these things at a feverish pace, especially in the summertime. Jello pudding pops. Bring them back. Bring them back. What's the fucking problem? But it's a pudding on a stick, dude. It was, you know what I think the problem was they were being sold by Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Perfect to have nothing like having a freaking pudding pop after an assault. You know what I mean?
As we wrap up top three, the word to the wise on the pudding pop: make sure they don't get stuck to your lip, dude, because they were frozen.
I remember.
My lip got stuck to one of those things. No, I had to didn't want to pull it off, and I pulled it off too fast. And there goes some of my lip.
Let me give you a little future help if your kids wind up in that situation. Just a glass of warm water, you pour it right on there. You're all set. That's all you need. That's all you need. All right,
top three, Paulie. So I love the Your Pizza Post show. I'm grilled cheese. Rising Wolf is bacon wrapped tots all day. Now, I think he inhaled the thing in like maybe 2.5 bites. It was amazing.
Well. God bless all of you. I'll let you know what my post-show food is tomorrow. Now here, you got more, Tony?
I got time for you. You want to give the musical ass before we start to
I do. Musical assignment, kids. Grab a pen, grab some paper, jot this S down. We'll be taking all your submissions tomorrow on the show. So I have a couple of suggestions, and you guys can choose what you like. Last week, to celebrate Jimmy Butler, we did songs connected to like the name Jim, Jimmy, James, anything like that, or buckets, things. This week, since Jimmy is now like, my heart goes out and I'm like concerned about Butler's health. Tony, what about if we do songs connected to the medical field? Songs about doctors, songs about patients, songs about being sick, songs about getting well, songs about recovering, but anything connected to like the medical world, because I want to put some good energy out into the universe for Butler. So maybe if we all do like songs about medicine, medical connections that will help Butler's recovery. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. What do you think of that?
That's great. I mean, like right out of the gates. Patrick Patton. I was just about to say Dr. Feelgood, right? Great call, Patrick.
Perfect. Well, now, my other one was going to be, if you like this more, let me know. I'll go either way. But the only other one I was going to say is, since I'll be in Vegas for a few days, we could do a song tomorrow that has like a gambling connection, songs about cards, poker, or Las Vegas. But I like the Butler one. That's my choice. What do you like, Pete?
I like keeping it focused with Butler, too, because we got to send vibes. We got to send energy. We got to send particles to Butler. Because, man, by the way, Ray's a super. DE Thai Kitchen in Vegas, best drunken noodles. Paul, you're getting food recommendations from Ray, big Ray in Martinez, or no, not in Martinez. I forget where they live, but he gigged in Martinez. And
I think that's right. And he's coming with the he's a left-handed guy who plays right-handed guitar, which adds to the mystique. It just adds to Ray's mystique. Yeah.
Thank you for the super, Ray. And by the way, also, Lo says that when he goes to Vegas, he stays in the Aria, Paulie, and there's really good places to eat in the Aria. So check out the Aria. I think here it is. Carbone is Italian, Catch is seafood, and Javier's is Mexican over there.
Let's keep building up the incredible resume of Ray Goodman because the stuff just keeps coming in. Thank you, Noemi. Going, by the way, just for your heads, Ray Goodman is a former chef.
Get out.
Okay.
Yes.
Former effing chef. I love that. All right, Tony. On the way out, a couple of words about Carlos at Flex Funding. Carlos de la Fuente, my main man, Los D, we call him on the streets. Los D and I talk all the time off the air. He's a really cool guy. You know, he's a big music lover too, loves his Niners. I think he's like us, Tony, where he leans a little bit heavier Niners as opposed to like Warriors, Giants. Like we all love the Warriors and Giants, but I mean, I probably lean heaviest when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. And I think Los D is like that too. That's just my impression. I see a lot of his posts online about the Niners and the draft. Like he's getting wound up. And I dig that, Los. I dig the passion. I do. I dig the passion.
They better not F this up. And I love that, Los. Let us know what you want them to do with their 11th pick, Los. Comment right now. Let us know.
Okay, watch this, Tony. I want to say also, because I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. Here I go. I'm watching the highlights in my hotel room. Look at the fighting going on. Jesus Christ, that was a rough game.
Yep.
I'm watching Draymond throw elbows with Dylan Brooks right now. Anyway, Carlos is licensed in California. So one of our favorite games to play is just remind people, no matter where you are in the state of California, ready for this one? You weren't ready for me to come with this, but here it comes. On a Thursday in Vegas, Tony, from Shingletown, you got me? Yeah. From Shingletown to Sacramento. Go. Where is he licensed from, Tony?
From Pinole to Pittsburgh.
Okay, look at you, fancy pants. All right, how about this? From Benicia to Venice Beach.
Okay, that's fine. We can go from San Diego to San Francisco. And what we love about Los is that he's born and raised in San Francisco too. Born and raised in the Bay Area, 26 years in the biz, dude. So not only does he know the Bay Area, he knows the whole state of California. So anybody in the state of California, he can handle. And by the way, Los thinks outside the box. Like that's what we love. Like go bring him your situation and he can work with you and build a relationship with Los. And then you can work on things from there. And like Paulie said earlier today, is that if he doesn't think it's the right time, he'll let you know. He's not going to try, he's not going to try and upsell you into something or make you uncomfortable or put you in a position that you don't want to be in. He wants to take care of you because if he takes care of you, he's taking care of himself and everybody wins. It's great stuff.
Well, and again, I want to remind everybody that Carlos has just partnered with the new lender, which allows them to do HELOC loans as his specialty, home equity lines of credit. And again, this is something that Carlos can usually handle just a little more than a week's time. Usually closings happen within 8 days, which is great considering how precious all our time is. And again, I like this, and I want to remind everybody, no appraisal fees, no hidden fees, no escrow fees, no title fees. The fast closings in 8 days I mentioned, and then he's got that 700 plus FICO score. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of loyalty, and he's a man of concern for the Bay Area and all the Bay Area people that rally around the Polymac Particle Show. We're so proud to have Carlos as a sponsor. And by the way, Tony, big week next week. We'll be adding our third sponsor to the rotation, and we'll more on that next week. But I'm very happy to announce our third sponsor, and we'll begin that relationship next week. But in the meantime, Los, thanks for all you're doing for us here on the show, and thanks for all you're doing in the community. And if you have any questions for Carlos, do not hesitate to give him a shout. 925-250-4894. If you're listening on Spotify, you don't have the visual, grab a pen and jot it down and email him at carlos@myflexnow.com, Tony.
Yes, Paulie. And also for those listening on Spotify.
Give us the los. 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 What loan would you like?
Dude, it's all about the horns. Give us the los. Give us the los. I'm telling you, there's a punk rock flavor in there. There's a little Devo going on.
No question. I think it was punk rock history with NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC who made that song for us. Thank you so much, David, for making that song. On the way out, Paulie, I also want to thank Longbridge Pizza because I've been broadcasting live from Longbridge today. Our first partner, the first ones who reached out to us and says, hey, we love your show. We'd love to partner with you guys and work out some sponsorship. That was Neil Donardi and Andrew Markoulis who reached out, to South City guys, and couldn't be nicer dudes, and we love partnering with them. And last night, Neil and I were at the show with Don Peralta, and I said, hey, Neil, what about doing the show from Longbridge tomorrow. And he's like, dude, done. Get in there.
Yeah.
Andre's here. He met me at the door and he helped me out. I'm drinking a Pellegrino from Longbridge, but the food is phenomenal. Today is square pie, Detroit style pizzas. Get into Longbridge before the Giants game, after the Giants games, before Chase Center, after Chase Center. You won't regret it. I'm coming back. I'm going to the Giants game with my wife and kids first pitch is in 40 minutes. And I'm coming back here for dinner with my family. So
Creative Tony, not since Mike Damone uttered the exact same line in Fast Times where he said, "Oh, Debbie, kiss me. You won't regret it." You just dropped "you won't regret it" on Longbridge. So I'm going to go ahead and salute that. Eat the pizza at Longbridge. You won't regret it. By the way, HVAC is a super. I want to get him up here before we sign off today, T. I want to give him some love.
That's above and beyond, man. Stand by. Let me get that up there because I want to.
Yeah, let me see HVAC. He already scrolled by, but I saw him going by. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Ah, dude, come on, man. That's right.
This one for me tonight, Paul. You got NorCal done. Consider it done. And again, I will send pictures and videos, and we'll post some stuff up so all you guys can take a little visit to the Sphere along with me. In the meantime, thank you, NorCal, very much. We appreciate that. Scarlet Fire, Don Peralta, Pine Needle, Aaron Kask, Patty from Napa, Rags on the road going to Pittsburgh. Thank God for you checking in today. Aaron Kask, Noemi, Ray, Los D, Miguel. I saw Panaki earlier in the show. What's happening, Panaki? Always good to see you. Miguel, if I didn't mention, I'll say it twice. Matt Stenson, great to see you. Cheers to you as well, brother. I'll be shouting it out tonight. All you guys are coming with me to the Sphere. Tony, you have a great time at the Giants game. Go Giants. Go Root. There it is.
Yep.
And get well, Jimmy Butler. Get well. Fingers crossed. Throw good energy into the universe. I'm a hippie. I believe that shit actually works. Escobar the Third, thank you. NorCal, thank you. Send healing vibes for Jimmy Butler. Creative Tony,
yep.
I got shows to get to. I got late night grilled cheese sandwiches to eat, and I'm going to check both boxes. I'll see you tomorrow, live from Las Vegas 2.0, and with the Sphere review, the Jimmy Butler updates, and the Giants getting you set up for the weekend. T, what you got, buddy?
And the 49ers first round draft pick. We'll see what happens there. So send vibes to John Lynch and the Niners war room. Send vibes to Butler. Send vibes to the Giants, and send vibes to each other. How about that, Paulie? I'm going to dismiss the class.
You got it, and I look forward to seeing that picture. Thank you, kids. Great seeing everybody. And if I could quote Tony quoting Mike Damone, we'll see you back here tomorrow on Paulie Max Particles at high noon. You won't regret it. Cheers, y'all.